What's up? What's up? What's up? You are now tuned in to another episode of the Doug Cow Show. I'm your host. What's going on, man? So, this week's episode is going to be slightly different. Because, I did my little books. I read my books or whatever. So, you're going to get book reviews. And you're going to get some exciting news. If you're blind or visually impaired. Or, anything of that nature. You guys. I want to give a shout out to a couple of podcasters that I just got introduced to. I found one through Apple Vis and YouTube. It's Mental Vision Show. It's called Mental Vision Show. And what it is, it's basically about this guy, Joe. His name is Joe, and he's got a gaming company called Mental Vision. So, give me a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back with my episode. Peace.
Hey, shit. Hey, Doug. This is Joe. Hey, thanks for checking out my podcast, man. I'm glad you're excited about Circus Masters Revenge. There's a lot of us, I guess. So, hey, I was checking out your podcast, man. It's pretty tight. And I saw you did book reviews. I wrote a book about a year and a half ago. It's called The Mogul Hotel and Casino, Mogul. You should check it out, man. All right, holler at your boy, man. Thanks.
Hey, Doug, this is Riley from the A4G podcast. And I would be happy to come on your show and talk. We could talk accessibility and we could talk music if you wanted. It would be fun to have a chat with you. I'd love it. Just let me know a day and time and we can do that. I will talk to you later, my friend, and thanks for favoriting the podcast. I appreciate it.
Well, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, the two voicemails that you just heard were from Mental Vision Games founder himself, Joe, and the other podcaster that I found thanks to Joe's podcast, the A4G podcast. That's the number 4G podcast. And her name is Riley Rose Frazee. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If I am not, I apologize. But, so these two people, like I said, Joe is the founder of Mental Vision Games and Mental Vision Show, and Riley is an game accessibility advocate for people who cannot see or have low vision or just any kind of disability, motor skills, just any kind of disability that keeps us from being able to play games and stuff, because there's a lot of mainstream games that we cannot play, ladies and gentlemen, and that we would like to play. I gotta give Joe a plug, because when this game comes out, it's going to be badass. So if any of you guys remember the Something Else games, I don't know when they were founded, but they were a company that made audio games. And they had this one audio game called Audio Defense. And basically it was a zombie shooter. You had to kill zombies, shoot zombies. There was different types of zombies. So this game is going to be like that, but 10 times better, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me right. 10 times better. Yeah. The game is called Circus Master's Revenge. It should be released in about 5 weeks from now. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what we are hoping for, ladies and gentlemen. 6 weeks from now, or 5 weeks or 6 weeks, whenever, there will be a new audio game for us to play called Circus Masters Revenge, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be kick ass. And like I said, you can find these people. You can find Joe, or the show, the podcast, Mental Vision, the Mental Vision Show, or it may be just called Mental Vision Show. It's on Anchor. You can also find Riley, at the A4G podcast on Anchor. A4G podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Mental Vision Show and A4G podcast. So now on to the books I've read. So the book that I recently read was Christine. And for those of you who haven't read or heard of Christine or seen the movie, which it's a Stephen King book, and it came out in 1983, I believe, the same year the movie did. So in this book, there's this kid named Arnie and this girl named Lee, and dun 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 dun, there's this evil killer car named Christine. Oh boy, yeah, you heard me right. Killer car named Christine. So how it starts is Arnie and Dennis. Dennis is his friend. I forgot to mention that. So Dennis is his friend, and he is basically telling the story. So it's from Dennis's point of view, through some of the book. So they're driving home, and Arnie's like, "Hey, go back! I want to see her. Go back!" And Dennis is like, "What the hell, Arnie? What's going on, dude? Like, what do you see back there? Like, what?" So they go back, and it's this hulking wreck of a car. I mean, it's a piece of shit, basically. A piece of shit. So he even tells him, he's like, "Arnie, this thing is a piece of shit. It's not worth anything." He's like, "Oh yeah, man, I could fix it up, man. I could, she could be really cool. She could be a sweet car, man." And he's like, the guy that is selling her, he was a war veteran, and he's selling this hunk of crap for $300 or $250, $300. And Arnie's like, "Oh man, whatever you want, it's not enough, dude. Oh my god, I'll buy her. And like, so he buys her, and Dennis is like, "Oh my god, dude, you just screwed yourself. Your funeral, buddy." And so then they have to go. They go home. He tells his parents, "Oh, I bought a car." And they're like, "You did what? You bought a car? You can't buy a car. You're only 17 years old." And he was like, "Well, no, I can't buy it, but registering it, well, I could buy it with cash, but registering it is a whole nother thing." So, anywho, they tell him, "Oh, you can't keep the car here," or whatever. So, they go to Darnell's, but on the way to Darnell's, they end up getting a flat tire. Christine ended up getting a flat tire. So Dennis had to go buy him a new flat tire. So in the meantime, this car Christine is stuck on these people's property, and this lady's like, "Look, you can't have your car here on my property. My husband's gonna be really, really pissed, because you got this car on this property and you cannot have it here." And he's like, "Look, lady, I just need to get my flat tire fixed." And so make a long story short, Dennis gets back. The husband's there. He's like, get this hunk of shit out of here. You know, so they get it to Darnell's, and Darnell, he goes in Darnell's, and Darnell goes, stall 20, get over there and shut it off before I'll choke to death. So, anywho, he goes in there, and Darnell starts yelling at him, basically, you know, if you run that mechanical asshole in here one more time without an exhaust hose, you're out, you hear me? So anyways, then stuff starts going down and people start getting killed. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the book. Right now, I am reading the Botman books. 4 early novels by Stephen King. Oh, Christine is a Stephen King book, by the way. Stephen King is a really good author. I like Stephen King. You know, but again, ladies and gentlemen, follow these people on Anchor. You can find them on Twitter and things, but I don't exactly remember where to find them. So once you find their podcast, you will find them. Again, the game is called Circus Master's Revenge. It's going to be like Audio Defense, but better. So those of you who played Audio Defense, which I was one of them, that game was kick-ass. I was so sad when it went off the App Store. I was like, oh my god, no. So when I heard about this game, I was like, yes. I was like, oh my god. I really was. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, again, Mental Vision Show and Riley Rose Frazier's podcast. There again, oh my god, I cannot talk. Wow. Riley Rose Frazier's podcast is the letter A, the number 4, G podcast. And you're right, you're probably wondering, A4G, where did she get that name from? Well, if you listen to our podcast, you'll find all that out and more, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, you're going to want to listen to this podcast, and you're also going to want to listen to Mental Vision Show. So give those guys a listen, and I will see you guys next time. Again, Mental Vision Show and letter A, number 4, G podcast. Joe is the Mental Vision Show, and Riley Rose Frazier is the A4G podcast. But yeah, check them out, ladies and gentlemen, and I will catch y'all later in the next podcast. Peace. Ah, damn it. No. Oh, come on, you bloody bitch. Shit. Oh, there we go.